this is the check-in area, and there's all like little distance markers if there is a queue to check in. There wasn't when we did. Once you're all checked in and they've given you a key, there's a separate entrance and exit door on the side here. So they prefer you to stay away from the reception area once you're all checked in. And got their little rules posted up here, so obviously you have to wear your mask, keep your hands clean and maintain the social distancing. Complex area is really nice. They've got bikes that you can rent, and there's quite a lot of them here. There's like different bike racks all dotted around. And then there's this little experience counter. I don't know whether they do trips and things that you can book, but it looks like they've also got exercise classes. There's things like yoga, open gym, kettlebells, that kind of stuff. And we noticed as well that there's Jet2 holidays section here, so it must be one of the options if you book with Jet2. They've got like information and pickup times and things to go back to the airport. And then you've got your pool area. You don't need a mask when you're on your sun lounger or when you're in the pool. So we're on the ground floor here in block 1, and this is apartment J. So it's an apartment style hotel. We just booked the cheapest room that they had, which was described as a studio for the one night for tonight. It's actually it's small, but it's more of a one bed than a studio. So you've got the living room area, there's a sofa here, and then when you spin round there's a little TV, little side table and a remote control. And then you've got the breakfast bar area with a couple of stools, and then the kitchen in the corner. This kitchen is really well equipped, so obviously there's stuff in here that we don't need just for one night, but if you were staying for a week or so, you've got everything that you need in here. So there's plates, bowls, coffee maker, juicer, toaster. On the end here there was, I think, a separate kettle, a little stovetop coffee maker, lots of little mugs in there, and then you've got a really good selection of glasses. There's even like champagne flutes in there, mugs. So really good selection, all very clean. There's a little coffee pod maker, and they've given us a couple of pods as well there. And one thing that we thought was quite good is they'd given us a brand new washing up sponge. There's some washing up liquid in here. Things like that you don't always get in these apartments, so that was quite nice. There's a little bin underneath. There's some clothes pegs in there so that you can hang things out on the balcony. And then you've got some pots and pans that you can use on this little 2-ring electric hob. And then a built-in microwave. There's another little shelf above there. That's just got like a big mixing bowl or salad bowl in there. And then a really good size fridge freezer, so you often don't get much freezer space in these places, but that's actually really good. And again with the fridge. So really handy if you wanted to come and do self-catering, I guess. You could easily make yourself at least breakfast, lunch, and maybe go out for dinner. And then although we booked a studio, there is actually a separate door, so it is actually more of a one bedroom. This has got an overhead electric fan, which has got its own remote control on the bedside table. The bed's really large, seems very comfortable. There's not a lot of room around it on this side, but not really a problem. You do still have another bedside, and you've got power points either side there. And then you've got a larger TV in the bedroom as well. And then quite a large wardrobe, so there's a lot of storage for quite a small apartment. So you've got hanging rail on this side, and they give you some hangers. There's a couple of extra pillows, towels that they provide there, and there's a safe underneath on that side. And then this side, there's a blanket at the top, and then you've got an ironing board and an iron with a bit more storage as well. This is the bathroom, and you can see me. So you've got a shower cubicle. It's not the biggest, so probably not an awful lot of elbow room in there, but it's a decent sort of rain style shower, and then there's a little separate one on the wall as well. Basin, little towel rail, bin. There's not an awful lot of storage space on here is the only thing I'd say. This shelf is fairly narrow, but there is a hairdryer there. Got a couple of hooks for towels and things. They're the only ones in here, and then obviously toilet. All nice and clean again. Doesn't look particularly old, these apartments. I'm not sure when they were all finished, but tiling and everything's all nicely done. Show you outside. Somebody's sunning herself. Being as we're on the ground floor, this has actually worked out quite well because our outdoor space is large. And we've got a view of the pool as well. And the apartments that are on the first and the second floor have got more of a balcony setup, whereas we've got this little terrace. There she is. What do you think of the room?
I really like it. Yeah, I think it's great. If you were staying here longer, it's nice that it's got the little kitchenette areas.
Yeah, really nice. We actually booked the hotel through Expedia. We've used Expedia quite a few times over the last couple of years for numerous trips, including the month that we had in Southeast Asia. Probably about half of the hotels that we booked were through Expedia. So in doing that, we ended up accumulating a few points on their reward scheme, and we earned silver VIP status. Now the points, if you use them against hotels that are classed as VIP hotels on their website, are actually worth double. And this hotel here was a VIP hotel. But the other good thing about the VIP ones on there is that you end up with a few free perks as well. With our booking, we actually got a €15 credit per stay. So even though we booked for one night, we still had the credit. And 2 welcome drinks as well on the rooftop bar. Now we were planning on using the credit to have breakfast, but they're not actually doing breakfast at the moment because of the restrictions that they've got. So we've ended up with a late checkout and an additional 2 cocktails on the roof bar. So we ended up with 4 drinks in total and the late checkout. What did he say about the late checkout?
We said what time, and he just said whenever you want, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I think he meant in the evening, hopefully, not the morning.
Not in the morning, yeah.
So basically any time we want.
Yeah, the resort, I don't know how you'd describe it in terms of busyness. Like,
there's people here, but it's quite nice and quiet, so it's relaxing because we're sitting outside. Obviously, you can hear people vaguely in the distance, but it's not noisy.
And we're pretty close to the pool here as well. There's various people in and out the pool, and then there's been people walking around with their bags as well. A few guys checking out now.
Probably worth mentioning as well, if you're staying here for any length of time, there's a Spar supermarket literally 2 minutes walk.
The headline price on the website was £60 per night, but as well as the points that we were able to redeem, there was also an 8% discount code that I found for Expedia. So by the time we'd taken both of those off, it's ended up costing us like £23 for the night, which is, you know, I think £60 a night is really good value anyway, to be honest, but 23 is an absolute bargain. It leaves us with a bit more in the kitty to spend this evening. It's been clean, comfortable, great location. We wanted to be really close to Old Town, so it was perfect for us. It's probably a little bit further towards the beaches, but you can still walk or grab a taxi. But if you want to be...
The advantage to that, though, is nice and quiet, isn't it? So.
Yeah, even though there's actually quite a few apartments here, we couldn't hear anything from the neighbours next door. And there were people in there because we met them yesterday on the terrace. But yeah, really, really quiet, good location. Yeah, I'd happily stay here again if we ever did the same thing. So yeah, we'd recommend it.